What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you GLS content today. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, I want to talk about something that has not been getting much attention for the past couple of, I would say, weeks, or at least in my opinion. I'm surprised that I hadn't thought about it in quite a while, and then I completely missed it on the roadmap. And that is the liquidity provider rewards for the GLX token. So I'm here on the white paper right now. We already have the staking rewards that began, I believe, in November. That's 100 million over 12 months. You got the airdrop that started in October. That's another 100 million over 12 months. We have the GLG play to earn rewards, 100 million. That's going to be going over 65 months. But I believe we gave out 15 million for pack holders early on. And then we've also pulled about 20 million from future partnerships for said pack holders. So the other things that we have, and I'm not going to count the DAO here, but it would be the validator rewards. And there's been a lot of chatter about validator node licenses and the sale probably happening before the end of Q1. But I just hadn't been thinking about LP rewards or just LPs even being set up. So, I went through and I was surprised that I had missed the fact that LPs were not even actually anywhere on the roadmap. I went back through and I was looking and I was just like, wait a second, like LPs were something, again, initially that were meant to come out in like November of last year, obviously before the whole shakeup, before the layoffs, and before just the end of the year madness that followed. But obviously the team is very much focused on getting the game out. And so in looking up where this stands in overall priority, I actually looked up and got some notes here from chatter from about 10 days ago, a week and a half ago. So you can see here he was being asked about LPs, and he said it's high on the roadmap, but prioritizing LPs will also delay other things. We need to really focus on getting the game out. LPs, nodes, etc. will still be built in tandem, but with the nodes on the go right now, we can't pick up LPs and nodes at the same time. And then he said LP still TBD on the roadmap, which again, I didn't see it on here, but I think he's just internally, they know that it's there. Something we want to do to get out relatively early. So if we think about when those come into, or when that could come into effect, and keep in mind, this roadmap was updated on the 5th of January. So we are almost 2 months past that. I'm sure we're going to get some kind of updated, hopefully we'll get some kind of updated roadmap at the beginning of Q2. As it stands right now, I would put it in this kind of future section, LPs, which means we probably don't see it until sometime in Q3. So, with the focus on getting the game launched right now, we have kind of an end date or last available date being June 6th. I would say that we could probably expect LPs to go live at some point in the future point beyond that, or beyond June. Now, why was I thinking about this? There's so much talk about how much supply there is, how much is going to be burned for nodes, what these potential price catalysts are, how much GLX could be burned for GLUSD, what the GLUSD sinks may be in game, how big that market will be. And so with all these different question marks, again, it started getting me thinking about what happened when these Splinterlands SPS LPs, or SPS and DEC LPs went live at the end of the airdrop in 2022. Again, this is the DEC or SPS airdrop. Again, that was in like July, August of 2022. And if you think back to the price, and I'm not going to pull it up here, but you can go back through and reference, we bottomed out for SPS, a local bottom of about 4.5 cents right around the time that the airdrop was ending. And it was a combination of Rift Watchers, but also there's Rift Watchers. There was other hype that was happening. The GLX, the GLX airdrop had been announced, or at least the Genesis League kind of partnership had been announced in September. But also, I personally think that a big part of the run up from 4.5 cents to, I think we topped out anywhere between 9 to 10 cents for SPS in September. The reason, a big part of that reason was the fact that the APRs for the LPs were so ridiculously high at that point. I mean, they were paying like over 100%. And even now, with the amount that people have put in, we're still in like the 40-50% range for a lot of the SPS ones, right? SPS DEC, SPS Ethereum, SPS Binance or BNB, and then SPS Hive, of course. So when thinking through potential price catalysts, and again, none of this is financial advice. I'm just trying to get an idea of what kind of support and demand there would be for the token. Outside of what we're expecting, hopefully, with Q2. And again, it's just so hard to quantify this stuff. It actually got me excited for the fact that, well, I don't know what the game may have or what the game may entail. Obviously, we're going to be minting quite a bit more GLX between now and probably Q3 and the end of the year. But if we do get the LPs live, that could be something that drives price. Now, again, something like that is not necessarily the kind of demand that is long-term and ongoing and sustainable, right? Because yeah, if the APRs are crazy, people are going to buy in, they're going to do the math, and they're going to realize the earlier you get in, even if you pay a little bit of a premium for for GLX, you will come away ahead in the long run. And so I think there could be, a decent demand spike for GLX around that time. Again, we don't really know what the tokenomics are going to look like outside of the fact that people will need to burn GLUSD for the upcoming node sale at the end of Q1. People will need to burn GLUSD for when the game goes live if they want to use... people will need to burn GLX for GLUSD, and then they'll need to burn GLX for GLUSD, and probably even burn some GLUSD for both the node license as well as when the game goes live. But, ultimately, how big of a demand that is, especially considering the fact that many top players have already gotten a ton just by staking SPS, just by staking their packs. There's a lot of GLX already in the mix. So I'm not trying to say that GLX is going to go to the moon, but it would be interesting to see what kind of effect that would have because of the fact that the supply of GLX is so much more constrained than something like SPS. At the time that SPS was, I think we were at like 800 million, maybe SPS, around the time the airdrop ended, around when that came out. So 800 million in circulation was significant. Whereas here, we're still under 100 million, and obviously we're minting more. But there's 1.38 billion out of the 2 billion, roughly 70%, that is still sitting on the sidelines. So again, when I'm thinking through this, it's just something that I wanted to put on people's radars because I hadn't been thinking about it for a while. And if I hadn't, gone through and kind of dug through the history of the chat and seen chatters' messages here, most people wouldn't know, or at least I didn't know. So I'm just trying to share it with you guys as something to think about, something to be cognizant of in the future on where there might be potential demand and a potential opportunity if you do like getting into the LPs. Now, my worry before I was able to find these messages was when I didn't see it on the roadmap, I was like, is there a chance that they just completely bypass that? And the only reason I could think that is because of the fact that governance for GLX has now gone live, and maybe they decide to reallocate that 100 million over 65 months to something else. But obviously that's not going to happen. And ultimately, I do believe that this game would be in a way better place if it was bridged out and liquidity was provided to the Ethereum blockchain as well as to the BNB blockchain, or BNB chain. So ultimately, it is going to happen. Just giving a little bit of an update on there because, again, like I said, I hadn't been thinking about it. So if you had been thinking about it, please let me know because I completely missed it. So, again, just trying to share this little bit of information with you guys, and hopefully we'll get an updated roadmap once the game is out and live. But it does sound like there will be a town hall in the works for maybe sometime early March. I know we were hoping for one last week or this week, but it sounds like maybe next week we may get one. But if they don't have time to do a town hall because they are working super hard on getting the game out, that to me is what is most important. And I would love to see a beta for this thing as soon as possible, just so that we can see and track the progress and get excited about it. So that is all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I will catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.